284. That is how many games have been played this NFL season, and only one remains. Super Bowl 57, representing the AFC, the Kansas City Chiefs, representing the NFC, the Philadelphia Eagles. Johnny Talk Sports here to bring you my Super Bowl preview and predictions, and I am hoping that we get a good game here. After the national championship game a month ago for college football, the worst championship game I have ever seen in any sport, I hope we get a good one. I hope it's an absolute barn burner, but history may or may not be on our side here, as 34 of the 56 Super Bowls have been decided by double digits. 7 have been decided by 3 points, including last season's. 6 have been decided by 4 points. And the reason why I bring this up is because right now the line is set at Eagles minus 1.5. So no matter who you pick in this game, you might as well just do the money line. If you're picking the Chiefs to win, just go Chiefs money line. Don't do the whole 1.5, because there's no way that the Chiefs are going to lose by 1 point. No way the Eagles only lose or win by 1 point. 284. That is how many NFL games have been played this season, and only one remains. Super Bowl 57, representing the AFC, the Kansas City Chiefs, representing the NFC, the Philadelphia Eagles. Johnny Talk Sports here to provide you with my Super Bowl 57 preview and predictions. And before I get started, a couple of things. One, I want to thank everybody that tuned in for my conference championship picks last week. It ended up being the third most viewed video in the history of my channel. And as I saw the view count grow and grow throughout the week, it meant everything to me. It is part of the reason that keeps me going every single week to provide great content for you all. And I am thankful for each and every single one of you that watched last week's video. Or should I say listened in, because I treat these more like podcasts. Second thing, no matter who wins or loses this game, I just hope that we have a very hard-fought game from start to finish. After watching TCU and Georgia in that national championship game less than a month ago, I was disgusted watching it. 65-7, the worst title game in any sport I've ever seen. And there were sports title games that I found a lot better that I don't normally watch, better than that TCU Georgia game. So as long as we see a very hard-fought game, it doesn't matter to me who wins, whether I'm right or wrong. If the team that I don't pick to win wins, I just hope that it was very hard fought and competitive. But I don't know if the history is going to be on my side here, because 34 of the 56 previous Super Bowls have been decided by 10 points or more. And I get that the scoreboard doesn't always tell you the full story, but my kind of games are kind of the games like last year, where it was 23-20, hard-fought game, down to the wire finish, came down to a few plays. 7 Super Bowls been decided by 3 points, including last year's. 6 have been decided by 4 points. Only one time has the Super Bowl been decided by 1 point, and that was Super Bowl 25. No Super Bowl has been decided by 2 points. And why am I bringing up this information? Well, because I was intrigued by the line. Because no matter what the line is, it tells a story. The line opened up at Eagles -2. And now it has dropped down to Eagles -1.5. And I think a big reason for that, because I'm kind of surprised. I really felt like Vegas was going to favor Mahomes. I figure a lot of people are going to bet on the Chiefs as they find Mahomes the best player in this matchup. But I think a part of that is because of the injuries right now for the Chiefs. As you look at this injury report, L'Jarius Sneed, Willie Gay, TikTok Boy, Real ones will know who TikTok Boy is. Kadarius Toney are all questionable. For the Eagles, Landon Dickerson is questionable, but Landon Dickerson, ever since coming back from injury, he has been perfect. He's been perfect for that Eagles offensive line. And there's been concerns about the Chiefs defense for pretty much half the season. But the Chiefs defense, they have stepped it up in this last part of the season. They've only given up 20 points to the Jaguars and Bengals. But this is an Eagles team that their offense, it matches up pretty well with the Chiefs offense. The Chiefs may have been the best total offense in the league during the regular season. But the Eagles, they were third in total offense. The Eagles had the fifth best running game in the NFL. The Eagles defense was second in total defense, only behind the 49ers. And the Eagles, they put up 31 points on that league-leading defense 49ers in the NFC Championship game. The Eagles, they were aggressive in the offseason. They acquired James Bradbury. They traded for A.J. Brown on draft night. A.J. Brown ended up being fourth in the league in receiving yards. I remember last year when I was questioning why the Eagles weren't utilizing Miles Sanders. They utilized Miles Sanders this year. And he was fifth in rushing yards this season. And Miles Sanders has 132 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns in the playoffs. We've seen Kenneth Gainwell step up for the Eagles, 160 yards and a touchdown in the playoffs. Even Boston Scott has had his moments for the Eagles this season. Dallas Goedert, 81 receiving yards and a touchdown in the playoffs. Dallas Goedert, to me, the third best tight end in the league, only behind Kelsey and Kittle. Dallas Goedert's third. Hassan Reddick, 3.5 sacks in the playoffs. A.J. Brown has been pretty quiet, though, in these playoffs. 50 receiving yards. Devontae Smith, he's had a touchdown in these playoffs, but only 97 receiving yards. And part of that is because the Eagles, they asserted their will in the running game against the Giants and 49ers. Patrick Mahomes for the Chiefs, 521 passing yards and 4 touchdowns in the postseason. Travis Kelce, 176 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who they acquired in the offseason, 122 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. And we've seen Isaiah Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon step up for the Chiefs throughout the second half of the year. But Jerick McKinnon has been pretty quiet, though, only 26 rushing yards, while Pacheco has 121 rushing yards. So overall, here's how I think these teams stack up to each other. As far as the better quarterback, well, to me that's pretty obvious. Mahomes is the better quarterback in this matchup. No disrespect to Jalen Hurts at all. Mahomes and Hurts, they have been the 2 best quarterbacks this season. And I think this is the best Super Bowl matchup you can have. As far as showing leadership, as far as your teams are concerned, as a quarterback, it's probably the most important position in all of sports. It's the position that requires the most leadership. And these two have been the 2 front runners for MVP for pretty much the entire season. But Mahomes just a little better than Hurts, but Hurts is not that far behind. As Hurts, he's without a doubt a top 5 QB in the league. Second best quarterback this season, only behind Mahomes. Better running game, I'm going with the Eagles on that one. Better receiving core, Eagles. Better tight end, that's obvious. The Chiefs, Kelsey is the best tight end in the league. George Kittle's second. Dallas Goedert's third. Better O-line, Eagles. Better defense, Eagles. Better coaching, the Chiefs, as Andy Reid is the more experienced head coach in this matchup. Nick Sirianni is coaching his first Super Bowl, and Andy Reid is coaching, and I believe his 4th Super Bowl. Don't quote me on it because I'm not sure if that's correct, but I do believe that it is Andy Reid's 4th Super Bowl. So I want to bring up a couple of things here, as despite some concerns about the Chiefs' defense that I've seen throughout the year on social media, the Chiefs' defense, I think they can hold their own. In fact, I think if this Chiefs' defense, if they can keep themselves in this game, as we've seen the Chiefs already dominate against the 49ers, the league leading defense this season. The Eagles just got done dominating them. The Chiefs were second in sacks, only behind the Eagles, who were first. The Eagles had 70 sacks this season. The Chiefs, they were second with, I believe, 55. The Eagles had the best pass defense in the league, while the Chiefs were 18th. So, not good or bad, just middle tier. The Eagles' weak point in their team is the run defense. As they were 17th in run defense during the season, the Chiefs were 8th. Chiefs defense, only 20 points per game allowed in the playoffs. Eagles defense, only 7 points per game allowed in the playoffs. As I do think we are in for quite the matchup. And finally, what you are all waiting for, the prediction. Well, there was a comment in my comment section last week. It was by, I believe it was Alex Coxis, who pointed out that Carl Cheffers will be the head official for this game. And the last 3 times that Cheffers has officiated, the over has hit. So right now the over-under is at 49.5. So by a score of 27-23, my Super Bowl 57 prediction, that's my final score prediction, 27-23. That's exactly 50 points. Over-under is 49.5. And Vegas, they like to manipulate their numbers. So by a score of 27-23, I have the Philadelphia Eagles winning Super Bowl 57. And as far as my Super Bowl MVP prediction, I think it's either going to be Miles Sanders or A.J. Brown. I would lean towards Miles Sanders, but one of those two, I think, wins Super Bowl MVP if the Eagles win this game. But if the Chiefs win it, they're going to probably give it to Patrick Mahomes, even though Travis Kelce may be more deserving of it, or even MVS is more deserving of it. But 27-23, Eagles win Super Bowl MVP, either Miles Sanders or A.J. Brown, but I'm leaning towards Miles Sanders right now. As Miles Sanders, he has been the lead guy for the Eagles so far. 2 rushing touchdowns in the postseason. So if you'd like a prop bet video, maybe later on in the week, like player props, if there's one that you want to know about, or a couple you want to know about, leave in the comment section down below, and I will provide my thoughts on it, maybe later this week. Comment your prediction down below. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, have a wonderful day. And enjoy the Super Bowl.